phasing the gang as a backup, but there will be more cameras with better angles of forward progress. So, for those of you that were complaining about whether or not Josh Allen picked up a first down in that game against the Chiefs in the AFC title game, apparently next year we're going to go ahead and fix all that, or at least try to, based on this technology. And so the chain gang guys will just kind of be sitting there, just kind of in the background, waiting for their opportunity, slowly getting phased out by a league that wants to turn everything into robots. It's terrible.
Even the players at some point, huh?
Yeah.
AI.
Terrible.
See, they got flying cars now.
It's terrible.
Wait, what car's flying?
You ain't see that?
Yeah.
No.
They're flying. They're taking orders.
It's weird.
It looks real flimsy, honestly. It does not look like the type of ride I would want to get into and say, you know what, I'm going to be flying now. But
how many people can even sit in that thing?
I don't know. Like four. It's like a regular. It's a regular car.
It looks weird.
You stupid.
The one I'm looking at, this one I'm seeing right now. It's on BBC News.
Yeah, it's black.
Yeah,
and it's like
it's floating over like a Suburban.
It looks like it's a fake car. Like the tires look really small and
definitely not tire rack tires.
But it flies and it drives.
Oh, if it flies, we could.
It looks a little flimsy though.
I could have a problem there.
But they say they're taking orders on them now.
Aren't planes and helicopters good enough?
It doesn't look like you're going to get there very quickly in that car, though. It just looks really flimsy. It doesn't look like it's like going up like a helicopter and then moving. It looks like it's like floating.
Have fun with that.
Like anything
if there's a strong wind, I feel like you're screwed in that thing.
Yeah. But they're taking orders on them. So
they can take
you
orders.
want to fly. I think it's like 300,000 or something like that to get it.
Back to the chain gang thing. I know Jonas has been a huge advocate for the hardworking guys in the chain gang.
That's right.
I mean, Jonas, how do you feel about them basically kind of kneecapping these guys?
I think it's sad. I think it's they want to embrace technology and they want all this. And meanwhile, you got people that are just sweating their balls off in the middle of the humidity during the summer to try and make sure that they're in shape to go out there and perform their duty. They've been around for a long time. They are there to measure and put on a show. There's the sort of the drama that builds where you think, oh my God, is it a first down? And then all of a sudden they extend it a little longer and you go, oh, they're short of the first down.
God.
All of that is
You're
gone.
Really into that.
It's those little details that you're going to miss when it's gone, when they just say, oh, so-and-so in the booth, he's got a better camera angle. And so, we're able to confirm that it is a first down. And meanwhile, the chain gang guys are there. They're probably going to cut their pay in half too. It's just sad that people can't just work their ass off and be left alone. But this is the new NFL. This is what everybody wanted.
It's crazy because you can't find parents to do it at high school games, man. They be wanting them to volunteer to hold the chains. They don't be wanting to do it. I know I've never done it. I would
really?
With the chains you got?
Never do it. I saw what you did.
Build your business with a partner you can trust. The Home Depot. When you join Pro Extra, you get lower than shelf pricing and dedicated support to help you streamline your business and stay on budget. Get dedicated pro support for supply sourcing, custom orders, large equipment rentals, and more. At the Home Depot, we supply the support your job needs with the level of service your business deserves. The Home Depot, how pros get more done.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Don't miss the iHeartCountry Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Delays just keep growing for that crash, blocking off the left lane on I-35 northbound at Riverside Drive. You're now backed up starting from Shelby Lane, causing a 20-minute out of your drive and some stop-and-go speeds. And looking onto Mopac going southbound for a new problem at Anderson Lane. A crash blocks off the left lane, causing a 5-minute delay from Highway 183. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. Get started today by calling 844-844-iHeart. That's 844-844-iHeart.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. Babbel is designed with you in mind. From expert-created lessons to conversational video units and even live classes, you can personalize your Babbel experience to be exactly what you need to really learn a new language more easily. Go ahead, set a goal for yourself. Accomplish it with Babbel. Try Babbel for free. Go to babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
One buzzword constantly being thrown out in today's auto finance world is affordability. The price of everything has gone up, including vehicles and monthly payments. Auto companies are currently grappling with this issue for their customers. At Apple Leasing, we want you to know that we've been attacking affordability for our customers for over 40 years. A lease offers a much lower payment and reasonable finance terms that can match most customers' trade cycles. Are you in the market now for a new vehicle and finding out your favorite model's price has increased 40%? Maybe you've heard about Apple Leasing on the radio over the years or from friends and neighbors, but haven't made the call yourself. With interest rates dropping and rebates being introduced back to the market, why wouldn't you call Apple Leasing? Join thousands of other happy clients and make that one call that will save you time and money. Our leasing professionals are ready to serve you. Call 512-346-9977. That's 512-346-9977. Or visit us online at appleleasing.com.
How did you sleep last night? If you find yourself restless, you know where to turn. Factory Mattress. During the Factory Mattress President's Day sale, get a queen mattress set with an adjustable power base for only $589. Or turn 2 bedrooms into sleep sanctuaries for the price of one with buy one, get one free deluxe mattresses. Enhance your sleep and save more because nobody can sell for less than Factory Mattress.
My Factory Mattress.
Have you found your new favorite feature on the iHeartRadio app yet? Presets and lyrics.
This is so good.
I've been telling all my friends.
Wait, you guys aren't using this yet?
You're missing out. Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio. Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horns. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Harge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns. 1300 The Zone.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland,
Leander and Silsby, Texas.
and wherever you may be listening. This is a Throwback Thursday edition of the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300. The Zone. Texas basketball falls short, and the chances are thin. CDC had its town meeting and addressed a lot of different topics. Eric Henry of Horns 24/7 will be joining us at 7:34 to discuss all things Longhorns. Jim Schlossnagle, head baseball coach of the University of Texas, join us for his weekly conversation at 8 a.m. The NFL Combine officially starts today, and Tom Brady be in them streets, and I must say, that dude be hustling. I am your host, Mike Harbaugh Harge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer, and he's recognized as the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry.
Good morning, Austin.
And our guy Khalil is holding it down behind the boards. And if you want to be a part of the show, and I know that you do want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. Also, if you want to voice your opinion, all you got to do is leave us a message by using that talkback feature on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. We'll receive it instantly, and you might hear it on air. But guess what? You would definitely get a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Dierks Bentley. So make sure you stay locked in. Mark, I mean, we are here, bro. It is that time. And, of course, the big conversation after yesterday, obviously going to be about basketball, but we'll talk about that in the next segment. But I wanted to talk about the town hall meeting that took place last night. For those that weren't aware, we did talk about it on the air, and we talked about the fact that Texas and CDC does a great job of getting with everyone to let you know basically the state of the union when it comes to the University of Texas. All things involved, all things that are going on athletically at this university, they try to make sure that you know what is going on. And there is a lot that is going on the 40 acres. They're in the process of building a new and an improved football practice facility. We've talked about the bubble and how the bubble has always been something that is not that appealing. Right? When you think about the bubble's not that appealing if you want to be totally honest about it.
Aesthetically pleasing.
It is challenged for those that are wondering. He also came up and talked about that. He also talked about what everybody was upset about, including one Mark Henry, when he spoke about the football game, the spring game. For those that are wondering, it is going to be a football fan day on April the 26th.
You see my expression?
Yes, I do. But the
for all the people that can't see my expression,
they
is ho-hum, I can't stand it.
But the thing about it is, he's giving everybody an opportunity to go out and hang out. You'll get photo ops. They'll have the team shop fire sales. They'll have team autographs. And so much more that will be happening. And it was interesting because the statement about that game and Coach Sark going into the office to talk to him about it and basically saying, hey, man, we've played a lot of games this past year. We have done a lot of different things that we really need to slow down a little bit. And to quote him, he said, Sark, this is from Inside Texas. I saw this. It says, Sark comes to me and he says, I think we're going to go to the OTAs. We got to look at the spring ball a little bit differently. We are trying to win a national championship. We've got 25 new kids, and we've got to get them in our system. We've got to get them coached up. Now, let's not forget either that during this process, you also have to find a way to acclimate them to the new coaches that are now on the 40 acres as well. So not only are the players learning new things, some of these coaches are learning new things.
Yep.
So I know it's disappointing for so many people. I get it. Totally understand. But in the process, you also got to understand, are you more worried about winning the spring game, or are you more worried about winning the national championship?
Harge, there's always a learning curve when it comes to how you deal with your coach in practice and how the coach is in the game.
Right.
These guys are not going to have that because the spring game is not going to happen. So where are they going to get that game time coaching kind of interaction?
Right there on the sideline during practice when they go ones against ones like they always do.
Well, I hope so, because that's a point of contention with me, is the coaches knowing each other, knowing the team, but also, like, I had a coach that used to chew tape. You know, you put the tape on your wrist. He's got a roll of tape in his hand, and he's tearing off a piece, and he'll chew it like bubble gum, and he'll spit it on the ground. Like, you got to know these little idiosyncrasies from your coaches. What makes them laugh? What gets the pressure off? Like, I mean, they're not going to have that. It's not the same at practice.
Well, I'm looking at this and I hear exactly what you're saying, but they spend a lot of time together. I'm going to learn what Mark Henry likes and doesn't like. I'm going to learn how Mark acts in these situations. We're going to see it. When they go ones against ones and we line up, you know what it is. You know what it's about to be.
I'm trying
when they
to
line up,
you.
Exactly. My job is to get into the starting lineup, and I'm sorry that I got to come out here and embarrass you, but I'm trying to get into the lineup, so I'm going ham out here. You know what I'm saying? So for you doing the same thing. So there will be some moments, and you know as well as I do, when you start to look at practice, that's where the most heated situations are. You're tired of hitting each other, right? You're tired of going up against each other, so you're going to be doing it the whole time. So when you go out there, what is the main thing of the spring game? To make sure when the game is over, everybody's healthy.
Right. Well, that's true. And I like the fact that you're on that side of caution, because you need the yin and the yang.
Absolutely.
Like that's why me and you we vibe so well on radio, is because you know when I'm getting out off the rafters and you can pull me back in, and when you get too serious, I can lighten it up.
Right.
So we know each other, and that's been for years. But that it took us years to get here, bro.
Yeah, no doubt.
They don't have years. They don't have our time. They got to get this done, and the more reps that they can get, the better, is what I'm saying. And I'm saying that from a guy that's, running a major company. Like, the people that work for me and the people that work with me, I know what their roles are, and they know what mine is, but sometimes stuff gets crossed.
Yep.
And they need more reps with me, and I need more reps with them, is what I'm saying. So I that's what I want for UT. I want them to get as many repetitions at the competition phase, not just the practice, having meetings, and then we walk through. No, I'm talking about full speed. This is what we're doing. We're trying to make it. And they're not going to have one major opportunity for that. And I understand why, but still, I don't like it.
Yeah, and you're not alone in that situation. Yeah, I was going to say you're not alone in it, but I'm on the other side of it where I'm like, I'm cool with it. I have no problem. We can still go out there and do our pre-practice show. We can still do walking around the campus and checking everything out. We'll still be around, so it'll be okay. One of the other biggest situations for me was about the scholarships and how they have changed throughout the years. If you start to look at, as someone who was a high-level, heavily recruited baseball player, right? I was crazy about this fact that you only could have 11.7 scholarships in baseball. And it was crazy because you normally have 26 kids, at least 30 kids, 40 kids. You got the walk-ons. You got all these other kids that the money has to be divvied up like that. I didn't come from money like a lot of these other kids that had an opportunity. But when you look at the scholarship situation, baseball went from 11.7 scholarships to now 25. That's a huge difference. That's a lot of money that can be shared and spread out throughout this time. So it's real interesting, and it's thankful that all these scholarship changes, and we'll get into the scholarship changes, the numbers, and how it all affects along the way when we talk to Eric Henry of Horns 24/7 at 7:34. But Now, coming up next, we're just getting started here on the morning kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. When we come back, we are going to talk about the Texas men's basketball team as they come up short once again. And what does this mean for their NCAA tournament chances? Oh, yeah. And that was brought up at the town hall meeting as well. Right here on the morning kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Texas softball is heating up. Catch every pitch.
Soaring fly ball center field. Back goes Dill with a warning track to the wall. It's gone. Jolie Mitchell for the second game in a row. A round tripper, and the Longhorns up 4-1 here in the seventh inning.
As the Horns take on the SEC, search Retro Austin on the free iHeartRadio app and listen to Texas softball all season long.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
2 left lanes are now blocked off for our crash on I-35 northbound Riverside Drive, causing a 45-minute backup to start from Shelby Lane. Also an update for the accident on Mopac southbound at Anderson Lane. It's now blocking off both the left lane and the express lanes. It's causing a 25-minute backup to start from Breaker. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
With 12 grams of protein per serving, Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal is there for active mornings, relaxing ones, and all the moments in between. It microwaves in 60 seconds, helping fuel your morning with ease. With 4 delicious flavors to choose from, there's a reason it's the GOAT. That's greatest oatmeal of all time. Try a delicious bowl of Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal today. Quaker, bring out the good.
And Doug. Quickly move. We don't have much time. This Liberty ad is already almost over. We only have a few precious seconds to remind people to customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Okay. Well, I guess we had more time than I thought.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Rapid Radios, the official walkie-talkie of the Dan Patrick Show. They are cool walkie-talkies. Rapid Radios, instant push-to-talk devices providing clear contact nationwide on an LTE network. 100% private. Perfect for small business owners to connect with staff. No subscriptions ever. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com. Get 60% off. You get free shipping. Also a free protection bag. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. rapidradios.com.
There's no better place to buy your new Chevy than Hanna Chevrolet. Right now, we have the biggest discounts in the last 5 years. Plus 0 for 60 months is available on a large selection of vehicles. As an Austin original since 1936, Hanna Chevrolet has been treating customers right and saving them some serious money. For straightforward, all-inclusive pricing, together let's drive at Hanna Chevrolet or Hanna.com.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war in term life. Industry rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month, level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call for a free quote today. 800-200-2250. That's 800-200-2250. Don't wait. Call 800-200-2250. 800-200-2250. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
We know you're loving the new preset feature on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
So cool, thank you.
But did you know that you can make almost anything a preset? Your favorite local station, sure. But your favorite podcast, that amazing playlist you made for free, even iHeart stations you can't get on the radio, like 24/7 Beatles and iHeart 80s.
That's a game changer.
Whatever you choose, it's as easy as a tap to make a preset. Find out what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio. The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like one-hit wonders. The greatest one-hit wonders of all time. Ones you definitely remember.
Now whip it.
And ones that'll make you say, oh yeah.
This is the story of a girl.
Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search One Hit Wonders, and listen now. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
iHeartRadio.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Horns.
Coming up in the next segment, we'll have Eric Henry of Horns 24/7. As you know, he is a man about Texas. He's been around the game. He's been learning it ever since he moved to Austin, Texas. He's been covering it. So we will definitely chop it up with E. But I wanted to get into this conversation, Mark, because this Texas men's basketball team, well, to say it's on life support is saying it lightly. Last night, that performance in the first half, obviously, Texas ended up going to halftime 42-30. Second half, they came out and played their behinds off 39-27, but it was all about Trey Johnson. Trey Johnson set the University of Texas freshman single season scoring record with 39 points. But of course, Texas ends up losing 86-81 after getting it to overtime. And I don't know what else that we can say about this basketball team that hasn't been said. Both teams came in with a desperate mindset. Both teams had to have this game. They were both 16-11. They were both 5-9 in conference play. But Texas falls short. And it's been pretty much the same thing. A slow start, and everybody get the ball to Trey Johnson and get out of the way.
That's not a great strategy. And you said that the University of Texas basketball team is on life support. The doctor basically came out and told the family that, it's not looking good. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hard. We cannot. I guarantee you. I'm gonna go so far as to say it. Texas has been behind at halftime probably 50% of the time or more. You cannot have these slow starts.
Yeah.
Why? What makes you go in halftime and then you got to get desperate to be good? You got to start off good. You got to have a winning mentality. And I told you, like I don't believe you. You always say I want to solve everything with my fist. Hard. It worked for me. It worked for me in my life.
Yep.
I'm coming out and I'm punch you in the face first. And they're gonna say, Mark, that's a penalty. Okay, I accept it. I'm gonna look them dead in their eyes and say, I got more for you. Now you got them behind the 8 ball. You can go and do what you need to do. But I'm not seeing that in the first half, and it just bothers the hell out of me.
Yeah, it bothers the hell out of a lot of people, and it's frustrating in the fact that this is a team that coming into the season we didn't know, right? Like we were still trying to figure out. We knew that these guys could score when you look at what Jordan Pope was able to do at his former school, and then you look at Kent and you look at Larry and you're saying, okay, and Kaluma was one hell of a player. So
it is one hell of a player.
Right, but he's been banged up all year, and at this point, nobody's healthy. At this point, it's just like any other sport. Once you start playing and start practicing, you're not healthy no more. It's what it is, so you got to adjust, and you got to be diligent about your work and your recovery and trying to make yourself a lot better. But at this particular time, man, last year there was hope because Texas got a chance to get into the tournament and they played well in the conference tournament, Big 12 tournament.
Right.
This is a totally different monster. This SEC night in and night out is a bloodbath. And if you're coming in banged up and you're not getting any better, look, Trey Johnson, he got himself paid again because that dude right there is a baller. All he wants to do, he's like KD, all he wants to do is hoop. And you look at the energy and what he brings to each one of his players, that is outstanding work by that young man. Can't say enough quality things. And you could tell that the team truly likes this young fella because they try to rally around him. Yeah. But the fact of the matter is it's not happening. They're not finishing these games. Yes, they came back, they battled back, they were able to push it to overtime. But then in overtime, there were times where he wasn't touching the basketball. And it's like he's carrying this team right now. And even as a freshman, it gets a little heavy. Heavy is the crown, isn't it?
Yeah, heavy is the head that wears the crown. But like one of the things that I've always seen from great players, and this is historically, even people that were greedy, I always considered Allen Iverson a greedy player. Trey Johnson is not Allen Iverson. You'll look at the stat line and Trey will have 4 or 5 assists and rebounds, and he's doing all the other things. The others has got to step up and go, let me get more rebounds so I can get Trey more shots. Let me defend better. Let me dribble penetrate so I can like convert a couple of these dribble penetrations. So it leaves Trey Johnson out there on the wing one-on-one with somebody. Like the team has got to be better.
Yeah. Well, they did better at the free throw line. They were 12 of 13. They were 9 of 26 from three-point land, and they shot 42% from the field. Problem is, when you look at what Arkansas was able to do, there were times at the end of the game where our defense was lackluster. We were guarding too far away from the basket, and once we were too far away from the basket, they could do a backdoor cut, they could slide, they can slice and dice, and they could get into the open space. And that is where I was getting a little frustrated because if a guy wants to pull a shot from 35 feet, let him. Let him. I think his chances of missing are greater than you trying to guard him that far out, and then you got to retreat. Somebody else got to help, and nobody was getting back on the backside. So every time they dribble penetrated, somebody was cutting to the basket. Yes.
You have got to get back, and you got to help out. And whether it's what you just said and having guys playing further out and getting more space, or just having guys hustle and get into the spots and not wait on somebody else to do the job.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a definite head scratcher, to say the least, when you start to think about where this team was, where it is, and where it's about to go, because it's not going to get any easier. We talk about March and how important it is. March is right here. Their next game is against Georgia, who's been fighting like crazy. Hopefully Saturday night you can come to the Mood and really support this team, because it's not out of the realm of possibility of them finishing up strong and being able to get to where they need to be. But you know as well as I do, that's tough, man. Yeah. That conference is not easy to do some certain things in. And
there's not a night off.
No, there's not. And so if you look at the standings now, Texas is at 5-10, Oklahoma's 4-11, LSU is 3-2, and South Carolina is 1-4. So now you're looking at the bottom of this tournament, and Georgia is 5-10 as well. So you're coming in with a 5-10 record against another 5-10 team who is 17-11, and you are 16-12. You have to win out. Remember we said yesterday it was 3 out of 4, right? Texas had to play well, win 3 out of 4. Those numbers are still there for you. That number is still there for you. But you have to be able to come out here and win this next ball game against Georgia ESPN2, 7 o'clock tip on Saturday night.
Harge, I told you the doctor is standing there with a clipboard in his hand looking at the family.
Getting ready to deliver his message.
Hey, he about to tell everybody what's going on, the diagnosis.
Man, gosh, man, it's just so frustrating because you're sitting there and you watch them battle back, and there's one key play at the end of the game that can get you that dub. You know, he was hot and he drove to the basket. And yes, Trey Johnson at the end of the game, he was the guy that you needed to go to. He got to the basket, but they didn't call a foul. He got hit upside the head. But even then, that's not the problem. That's not the issue. The issue is, how did we get into this problem?
How do you start the game behind all the time? More than 50% of the time.
Yes.
So it's going to require early focus, and let's jump out and get hot and make them play our style.
Yeah, it's going to have to happen.
Yeah, you got to switch it up too.
No doubt, no doubt. Coming up, we're about to switch it up. We're going to talk to Eric Henry of Horns 24/7. We're going to ask him about the scholarships. We're going to also ask about the town hall meeting, but I'm sure he's got something to say about this Texas basketball team. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
A sigh of relief on I-35 northbound at Riverside Drive. A crash that had a couple left lanes blocked off has finally been cleared, but we could use some more help over on Mopac going southbound at Anderson Lane. A crash here blocks off both the left lane and the express lanes, and you're now backed up starting from Palmer, causing about a 40 to 45-minute delay. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Jackson Hewitt. It matters who does your taxes. Jackson Hewitt makes taxes feel like a yacht rock song. Get your max tax refund guaranteed, and new customers get $100 to switch. Don't miss the boat. Book an appointment with experts today. Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
Do you ever find yourself scrolling through social media only to find yourself bombarded by bad news, worse comments, hot takes, picture-perfect families, in yet another humbling professional update? It's hard not to get wrapped up in how everyone else is doing, but imagine how you feel if you spent just 45 minutes focused on how you're doing. Cameron Parker here, and let me tell you about Cerebral. At Cerebral, we make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medication personalized to you. And the best part? Cerebral offers in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost. In fact, 72% of people say they felt better in just 12 weeks. Cerebral makes mental health care easy, accessible, and more affordable, and connects you with expert clinicians. Cerebral is also proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs. So take the first step today. Visit Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral. Make time for Mind Time.
Now Taxes is using Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get your refund so you can do more with it right in Credit Karma. Now this is taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Attention construction superintendents, contractors, and event planners. If you're in the market for a temporary rental fence, call Viking Fence today. The same company that is so reliable with permanent fences can save you time, money, and headaches. Located in Central Texas since 1972, Viking is highly committed to prompt and courteous customer service. Our flexible pricing plans allow you to fix your costs or hit your budget. Ask about our damage waiver rate that will eliminate untimely chargebacks. Excellent work, great service, and an honest reputation. Call Viking Fence today at 837-6411. Or visit us online at vikingfence.com. Again, call 837-6411 or visit us at vikingfence.com. When you think temporary rental fence, think Viking.
Insurance sold by Smart Money Insurance Services, Inc., underwritten by various insurers. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply. Hey, John, Mom told me you had a flood in your apartment?
Yeah, tons of my stuff is ruined.
You had renter's insurance, right?
No.
Just get the Smart Money app and get up to $40,000 of personal property coverage with policies starting at just $15 a month.
I could have saved so much money if I'd had coverage from Smart Bunny Insurance. I'm downloading the app now.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
The Rockets beat the Spurs, sending San Antonio to their fourth straight loss. Texas rallied from 12 down in the second half, but lost to Arkansas in overtime. Trey Johnson scored 39, breaking Kevin Durant's freshman single-game program record. The Astros shut out the Nationals in Grapefruit League play. Jose Altuve set to make his spring debut against the Cardinals tomorrow. He'll do it in left field. I'm Ronza Moss.
Hey, this is Lincoln Kennedy. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
At Mercedes-Benz, there's a reason they go the extra mile. From testing their vehicles in desert heat and Arctic cold to creating AI that can anticipate your needs and preferences on the road, they demand that every car is worthy of their star because it's Mercedes-Benz.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Horns.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. It is Thursday, so you know what time that is. That means that we get a chance to talk to our guy, Eric Henry of Horns 24/7. You can follow him at Eric C. Henry _ E, good morning, man. How are you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. Appreciate y'all having me on as always.
As always, man, we love chopping it up with you. It's always vital to our pulse to find out what's truly going on. I want to start. I'm not going to start with basketball because that'll take up the rest of it. I want to start with the town hall. And last night, CDC had his State of the Union, so to speak, where everybody got a chance to ask questions. And one of the things that stood out to me was about the scholarship situation. As a former athlete, you know this. It is hard to come by them scholarships. And now it seems like the increase is going to be beneficial to a lot of these Texas programs.
Yeah, listen, that's a great place to start, no doubt about it. Just to bring everyone up to speed who may not know that the increased scholarship limits, that's nationwide, programs are going to be able to fund more scholarships as they have the ability to do so. For Texas, we know there's no shortage of money around the 40 acres, on the 40 acres, and people who want to donate to the 40 acres. A quick rundown of probably the biggest increase is men's baseball, something that's near and dear to Mike Harge's heart.
Yes,
sir. Go from that 11.7. I never understood the 0.7 there, but they're going to fund 25 scholarships. So that, to me, stands out because when I first saw that number, it made me think that Jim Schlossnagle had an agreement with CDC saying, hey, if I take this job, we're going to fund 25 scholarships and we're going to put together the best roster we can. So that is an increase. Men's football, what I did think was interesting, or I should say men's football altogether, what I thought was interesting is that they're going to stay 85.
Yeah.
That to me was interesting, because Steve Sarkisian has talked about the fact that he is always been in favor of walk-ons and seeing the value that walk-ons have in his program. I thought that Texas might try to fund over 100, to be completely honest. I will be interested to see which programs do maybe try to fund over 100. Of course, you have some of the Title IX implications as well, so you can't get too crazy there. But yeah, those are the biggest ones that stood out. I guess, also for, your track fans, indoor and outdoor track, they're going to go from funding 12 to 35.
What about the guys that from the walk-on standpoint, how many guys do you think potentially can get a shot as a walk-on that can fill those 85?
That's a good question, Mark. That is a good question. My gut tells me right now, maybe, a handful at top, a handful, at most, and that may be stretching it, because I think if you've committed to funding 85, and with the increase in scholarships across the board in other sports, or I shouldn't say across the board, but in other sports, you're probably going to want that, the 85 guys you fund to be guys you recruit, guys out of the portal, and maybe you don't have, some of those stories, right, where, you have the kid who walks on, local kid, and then, maybe year 3, year 4 earns a scholarship. My gut tells me at most, maybe 3 or 4, but I will say this, you really weren't seeing, even in the current structure, more than 5, 6, 7 kids who earned a scholarship after being walk on that way. So in that sense, it's not that much of a shift.
Will you have to be a scholarship athlete to get paid or to get any of the monies that are involved in the program?
That's a tricky question, Mark. You don't have to be, because there's always ways that you can, especially in the NIL era. There's always ways that you can put a little
subsidize that money. Okay.
Right. You don't have to be, but you don't have to be, Mark. I'll put it to you like that.
Okay.
I love it. We're here talking to Eric Henry of Horns 24/7. You can follow him at Eric C. Henry _. And another part of the conversation that was had was about the new facilities that are being built. Rumor has it they're going to keep the bubble there for a while, but the new facility is going to be top of the line for Texas football. But are there any other areas of improvement, whether it's softball or even baseball, that you see in the near future?
Yeah. I think Macomb Field. I think that's the one, that has been talked about. Listen, Mike White said it, with his chest last year when his team reached number 1 and they beat Oklahoma. He said, we need new facilities. We need our upgraded facilities, I should say. So I do think softball are in line to see improvements to their facilities. The dish, Chris Del Conte said that wasn't necessarily, top of mind.
Yep.
So I think that'll be interesting. I think another one that I thought was super interesting, and I hadn't even really thought about it because obviously I don't cover track, but I have, seen, the soccer facilities over there.
Yep.
He talked about potentially moving track out to, maybe where, Frank Dinius Fields would be, because he didn't like the fact that, some of the crowds there, they just are so overwhelming with the size of the facility there that maybe, you can move, whether it be soccer or move track out to the Dinius Field. So that could be interesting. But no, I think top of mind immediately outside of football is going to be softball. I think that's going to be the one that you're probably going to see. And that's well-deserved, to be completely honest.
No doubt.
Yeah, I'm a big track fan. So, like, I've had the experience of going to UT, to the Texas Relays, as well as the high school state championships. It's difficult to get over there. The parking is difficult to park. The stadium is so overcrowded, usually when you have the bigger meets, that it's not fun. So, like, I think it would be an upgrade to move the track and soccer, have the same stadium, build a new track and soccer stadium away from campus. What do you think about that?
Yeah, again, that's what I think is interesting, right? And here's the thing, one of the things that really stood out to me when I moved out here to take the job to cover Texas is this campus, it's dead smack in the middle of Austin. There isn't enough room. There's not a ton of room to expand and build, whether it be, additional parking for baseball. That was something that was a hot topic. People made their feelings heard to Chris Del Conte with that last night. Also, in terms of building new facilities, right? So I do think you got to kind of make the most of the space you have, but I do think there's no way that you can just have, whether it be the bubble or the Frank Dinius Field, and just have them vacant, right? They can't just be used for intramural sports or things of that nature. So I do think it would make sense to move one of those teams out of that facility, in my mind, I think more than likely it would be soccer, and move them out to the Denius fields and kind of, build maybe, 5, 6, 7,000 seats there, as opposed to kind of, the double purpose facility there, because it's just so much congestion right there. Anyone who's even me trying to cover a game, if there are multiple things going on in that area, it is, like you said, a pain to even try to get there and park in Manor Garage.
And that's why you normally will stick around if there's multiple press conferences and get to the gym early to be able.
Also, if you can move the track stadium and out of there completely, think about how much more parking they can put right there by the Moody and the football stadium. Like it would mean for more money, as well as you could get a stadium where only soccer and track are in it. Elsewhere, I think it would benefit everybody.
No, most definitely, Mark. I completely agree with you there.
No doubt. E, as always, man, I know you're up against it. I'm glad we didn't have to talk basketball because I didn't want to put you on that spot right there.
Man, please.
But I much rather wanted to know what's coming next as opposed to what's happening now. We'll talk about it. We'll see you next week. And actually, we might see you this Saturday at the men's basketball game. I'll talk to you, buddy.
Appreciate you having me on.
As always. When we come back, we got a conversation that needs to be had. Are the Sixers the Cowboys of the NBA? Oh, yeah. I know Mark got something to say right here on the morning kickoff on the sports morning kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone presents The Craig Way Show.
Life is Good by Joe Walsh.
Life's been good, but that's
Life's
close
been
enough
good
for Joe.
When I see that album cover, for some reason, he looks like Dale Earnhardt to me. With the mustache. I haven't seen what he looks like in person.
Right.
Or back when it
trust me, if Dale Earnhardt were alive today, he would not look like Joe Walsh. There's not many people look like Joe Walsh how he looks today. Trust me.
Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
A sigh of relief on I-35 northbound at Riverside Drive. A crash that had a couple left lanes blocked off has finally been cleared, but we could use some more help over on Mopac going southbound at Anderson Lane. A crash here blocks off both the left lane and the express lanes, and you're now backed up starting from Palmer, causing about a 40 to 45-minute delay. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
It's big game season and President's Day savings all month long at Cover Chevy and Hutto. At Cover Chevy and Hutto, they've got the winning deals just for you, like $13,000 off MSRP on a new 2024 Chevy Silverado 1500, $7,000 off MSRP on a new 2024 Chevy Tahoe, and $7,000 off MSRP on a new 2024 Chevy Silverado 2500. See dealer for details. Head on over to CoverChevyHutto.com or swing by 1200 US 79 in Hutto. Cover Chevy and Hutto, where tradition meets the open road. Together, let's drive.
My name is Kyle Tequila, host of the shocking new true crime podcast, Crook County.
I got recruited into the mob when I was 17 years old.
People are dying. Is he doing this every night?
Kenny was a Chicago firefighter who lived a secret double life as a mafia hitman.
I had a wife and I had 2 children. Nobody knew anything. He was a crazy man.
He was my father, and I had no idea about any of this until now. Listen to Crook County on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Crook County to start listening.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
Time to hit the streets, y'all. Join thousands of runners and walkers at the Statesman Cap 10K on Sunday, April 6th. Celebrate 48 years of running tradition at Texas's largest 10K. Don't wait. Sign up today at cap10k.com.
These times of massive inflation have people just like you strapped.
As far as my debt, I was drowning in debt. My balances were never going down. I was making payments every month. It was just draining every resource I had.
The Debt Management Group can help. In the first free call, they will explain all the relief programs you may qualify for to get you out of debt fast.
They saved me thousands of dollars, especially in interest. I would have never paid off this debt without their help.
I felt like it was a burden lifted off my shoulders. It felt amazing, and I felt like I could actually see a future for me and my kids.
The sooner you call, the faster you can get the relief you deserve. It's free information on all the debt relief programs you qualify for, plus guaranteed confidentiality. Call 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470. Call now to find out about the best debt forgiveness, consolidation, modification, and settlement programs available. 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470.
With 12 grams of protein per serving, Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal is there for active mornings, relaxing ones, and all the moments in between. It microwaves in 60 seconds, helping fuel your morning with ease. With 4 delicious flavors to choose from, there's a reason it's the GOAT. That's greatest oatmeal of all time. Try a delicious bowl of Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal today. Quaker, bring out the good.
And Doug. Quickly, Moo. We don't have much time. This Liberty ad is already almost over. We only have a few precious seconds to remind people to customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual.
Okay. Well, I guess we had more time than I thought.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horde. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. Your home for the Texas Longhorns.
We are back here on the morning kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone. And here's your chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Dierks Bentley May the 29th at the Moody Center. All you got to do is get over to the iHeartRadio app, which you've already preset and woke up to, and tap that red microphone and leave the word Moon. Moon gives you an opportunity to win a pair of tickets to see Dierks Bentley May the 29th at the Moody Center. And also make sure you tune into the Craig Way Show today and get a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Ghost. Make sure you're locked in. Mark, I want to talk about this, man, because it's kind of funny to me, because I was watching the news yesterday, and the Philadelphia 76ers were part of the conversation. And when you think about the Philadelphia 76ers, you think about trust the process. Trust the process. That's all they ever said. Well, you ended up trusting the process, and guess what? It did not work. The process has been terrible. It's been on injured reserve. You had Ben Simmons trying to be a part of your team. You had Joel Embiid, who has done great things, but he hasn't been consistent. Oh, well, he has been consistently hurt. So now you're sitting there looking at this basketball team, and now are they in a position that they need to start tanking?
Harge, this is almost an extension of the world's strongest tape. They have to start dismantling this old team philosophy. Joel Embiid's got to go.
Mark is the king of get rid of everybody.
Man, like they have to try to get whatever you can get. I mean, you're not going to get 2 first-round picks for him. You just have to take what you can get, a couple of young players that's developmental style players, and go ahead and flop. You can't do it now. The trade deadline is over. So they still have him for 3 years. The last year, he's going to get $69 million. In 3 more years, his max salary for the year is $69 million.
Not mad at it. Give me all that. Run
Hey,
me my
give me
money.
all that bread. Give me.
Run
But
me my
if you're
money.
a fan, if you're a Philadelphia fan, you have the same frustration as a Cowboys fan.
100%, and that's why I think that. Yep.
And you know, I really do feel like it. The Philly fans, they're as extremists as Cowboy fans. Probably more so. You look at their football team, they won a Super Bowl this year. That'll appease them for a little while, but they're going to go right back next year to being rabid fans. And the basketball team is exactly the same. They have not won since Allen Iverson played. When was his last year?
I have no idea when his last year was. 2011? Yeah, 2011. So check this out. This is where I start to think about this team. They only have 4 players that they actually drafted on this team. Tyrese Maxey, Jared McClain, who they just drafted this past year, who was sitting on the bench, Joel Embiid, and Adam Bona. Those are the only players on this squad that they actually have drafted.
I wish we had the drop hard. Never heard of him.
Yeah, exactly. So here's the other part of this. Here's the other thing, and I'll let you finish, Mark. You start looking at this team as a whole. Paul George yesterday talked about, I'm about to stop my podcast so I can focus on basketball. What? Like, how is that even part of the conversation? Like, why do we need to know that you're going away from your podcast because you're supposed to be focusing on the job that you are getting paid a lot of money to actually do? So I don't even care about your podcast. I haven't even listened to it not one time. But you should not have to make an announcement to us that you're going to go to focus on basketball and you're going to walk away from your podcast. That to me is where I was like, bro, why is this even a conversation?
Harge, my wife sent me a photo of Jacob getting ready to compete this morning. I mean, laser beam focus. He's looking at the mat like I'm finna kill somebody. And I remember that feeling. I know you remember it. Nobody had to tell us, hey, man, you need to stop playing video games. You need to go to bed at night. You need to eat your food. Nobody had to tell us. We knew it. These kids today, these guys, these players, I don't understand it. The Michael Parsons with the podcast, the Paul George with his podcast, how you going to let that get in the way of your work? If that's the reason that as a fan of the Cowboys that I want Michael Parsons gone, who I'm a fan of, there's not many players. I guarantee you there's not 5 players in the NFL that I like to watch more than Michael Parsons. But if he's going to be a distraction to the team that I like, you got to go. And that's the same thing with Paul George. That's the same thing with Joel Embiid. They cost $50 million plus. That's $100 million a year that you can pour into your team.
Yeah, this thing needs to.
You got to get rid of that, man.
This thing needs to be dismantled, man. And I'm not like you where you always getting ready to trade, release, get rid of people. But I'm also to the point too where it's like
keep paying $100 million a year.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to do that. It's very, very intriguing because we were told for so long to trust the process. Trust the process. And you drafted a guy, Ben Simmons. I can't even tell you where Ben Simmons is right now. I can't even tell you. I'm not even trying to find this dude because he hasn't done it. Khalil just told me the Clippers. But what has he done in his contribution? And he's another guy that got paid a ton of money
for nothing
to just kick it. somebody that's getting paid, but is ready
Street
to
clothes.
Hey, we are ready to talk to the head baseball coach of the Texas Longhorns, Jim Schlossnagle, as they are on their way to Las Vegas. But he's coming up next at the top of the hour, right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Shots back. 50 years in the Lone Star State, a one-stop shop so you're never late. Price is so low that you want to know
which way to Specs.
Come on, let's go.
Specs Wine Spirits and Fine Foods. World-class service, that's all about you.
Shop Specs, it's how we do. A huge selection since 62. Shop Specs, low price, amazing. Here's to you.
Shout.
Cheers to savings.
At Diamonds Direct, we believe luxury is an experience and not a price tag. Luxury is expert guidance. It's the selection of 10 jewelry stores under one roof. It's saving time on endless comparison shopping, and you'll only find this experience at Diamonds Direct. Our luxury showroom has it all backed by our lifetime warranties and our signature best price guarantee. Diamonds Direct is the perfect combination of luxury and value, so you don't ever have to compromise. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. Get started today by calling 844-844-iHeart. That's 844-844-iHeart.
Tossing and turning? Waking up feeling restless? It's time to revolutionize your sleep, and nobody can sell for less than Factory Mattress. Save up to $500 on select adjustable Tempur-Pedic sets and get a $300 free gift. Or get an additional 20% off our factory direct prices on name brands like Sealy, Serta, and more. Start sleeping happier during the President's Day sale at Factory Mattress.
My Factory Mattress.
A great lawn is like a great sports team. It takes expertise and a little extra care to stand out, and that's where True Green comes in. Here's the best part. It's more affordable than you think. They'll even match any competitor's price. Plus, True Green backs it all up with a satisfaction guarantee. Not happy? They will come back between visits to make it right. So don't wait. Head to truegreen.com today and let the pros do the work while you sit back and enjoy the results. Exclusions apply. See truegreen.com for details.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Want to win 2,000 times your money simply by watching sports? With Better Picks, every play will have you on the edge of your seat, as game day just got 2,000 times more exciting. That's right, with Better Picks, you can turn $5 into $10,000, $10 into $20,000, all the way up to $100,000 payouts. So take that pocket change and turn it into real winnings.
And it's super simple to use. Just pick a few players, choose more or less on their stats, and follow along live.
So why would you play daily fantasy anywhere else when you can win up to 2,000 times your money on Better Picks? Dial **win or go to betrpicks.com and use promo code RADIO to get your first entry matched in bonus funds, win or lose, up to $250. That's **win or go to betrpicks.com and use promo code RADIO.
Must be 21 or older and in a jurisdiction where Better Picks operates. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned with your play? Call the NCPG at 1-800-522-4700.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horn. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Harge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns. 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. The show is called The Morning Kickoff, but on Thursdays at this time, we should call it The First Pitch, as we are joined by the Texas baseball coach, Jim Schlossnagle, as they are getting ready to take their show on the road to Las Vegas. And, Coach, I wanted to ask you right away, have you been to Vegas before for baseball?
Well, considering I was the coach at UNLV for 2 years, yeah, I've been there.
I guess that would be a great way to answer
Do your
that.
homework.
But I wanted to ask you this too, because this is a big opportunity for a young baseball team. Now you have experience, but you also have some young guys. They're getting a chance to get back on the road, to have an opportunity to really get that bond going. I was talking to a lot of fans the other day, and one of the things that kind of stood out to them was the togetherness of this baseball team. Can you speak to that just a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think, to this point, it's a group that enjoys being around each other. Our facility, is so nice that it lends itself to that. This is a great dish falk, and our indoor facility is such a great place for our guys to get work in and for them to hang out together. So they spend a lot of time together. They're supportive of each other. We haven't hit a ton of adversity yet, but at least the self-imposed adversity that can come on a team when everybody doesn't get to play, or everybody doesn't get to travel, the guys have handled that. So let's see how it goes moving forward. But yeah, it's fun to be on a club that enjoys being around itself. So we'll see if we can keep that going.
Coach, it looks like your team is, speaking of them becoming a team, with all the guys that came from different places and all of the young guys that you brought in, the freshmen, it seems like they've gelled and melted together real easily. Do you feel like that there's more to go, or you feel like that with the facilities, with the coaching that y'all are giving them, that everything is going as planned?
There's definitely room for improvement with our team at every phase. I think, barring injury, the team we're going to be a month from now, or the team we're going to be hopefully in April, May, and June, is much better version of who we are right now. And so I think you got to give a lot of credit to the older players on this team, the returning guys that we've talked about before, like Kimball and Jalen and Rylan and Dre and Luke, Max Ballou, guys that are Longhorns, and they have great core values and what they stand for, and they do a good job of bringing everybody together. So, but yeah, we can get better in every phase, on the field, and off the field. And the rough days are coming. I mean, I would love to think we're going to roll through this thing pretty unscathed, but this weekend is going to be a huge challenge. We're playing 3 really good teams. Got time change. We got travel. We had a much different playing surface than we're used to playing on. So it's all good preparation for what we're going to start here in about 2 weeks, and that's SEC baseball.
Coach, you talked about being unscathed, and one of those situations was on Tuesday, the other night, when Incarnate Word came in and your team pitched a shutout, only gave up 2 hits, got some timely hitting. But talk about Jason Flores and his ability to kind of weather the storm early and get out of there in a bunch of situations that ended up being a 2-hit shutout by your staff.
Yeah, super proud of Jason. What he did, just getting through the anxiousness and nerves of your first college start. He grew up a Longhorn. He always wanted to be here, and now here he is in that moment. Good crowd, good weather, a lot of family here, and a lot of guys, really struggle, especially in that first inning, just to be in control of themselves. And he did great. And then in that 3rd inning, he had first and second, nobody out, and he pitched his way out of it. Did a really nice job, kept making pitches, and that that was a challenge in itself. But also, he hasn't pitched that much, so to be able to throw 45 or 50 pitches or whatever he did, and then get up and down, in other words, come in the first inning, sit down, go back out, come in the second inning, go back out. I mean, that's it's been a couple weeks since he's done that. So super proud of him. He's got a great future in this program, and we're certainly glad he's at Texas.
So I wanted to ask you about the offense. You have moved the lineup around multiple times. Nothing seems to be the same every single day, but the players are the same. So you're
Good
trying
coaching.
to find a way to get these guys going. What goes into your thought process in some of that? And talk about Adrian Rodriguez. I mean, A-Rod is somebody, every time I talk to a scout, we're trying to figure out that dude's barrel stays in that zone for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, Adrian's a good player, and he's certainly gotten off to a good start, and that's great. He'll have his challenges moving forward too, but he works hard. He stays on the baseball from both sides of the plate, uses the whole field to hit. You know, he's not just a pull hitter. You know, you see him some of his best swings are the other way. Hit a home run the other way in the alumni game, and his right-handed at bats are. He doesn't get many. We haven't faced many lefties, but we will.
Yep.
A lot of left-handed pitching in the SEC, so he's going to have to be able to handle that. But in terms, I mean, you would prefer for it to be super consistent, and I try to keep it somewhat consistent, especially with the older guys. But every now and individual day, there may be a matchup that you like a little bit better, or you have an idea of what the other team's trying to do in the bullpen, and you're trying to counteract that. And then this time of year, you're trying to get guys at bats. You know, whether it be the everyday players, stick with them and give them some rope. Certainly some of our guys, you know, they're going to have way better seasons, at least, you know, I hope, than what they've put together to this point. But right now, you know, they need at-bats, and they need repetitive at-bats. That's why it's important to get these games in, play Tuesday night, and then get back out on the field tomorrow.
We're talking to the Texas baseball coach, Jim Schlossnagle, as his team is headed out to Las Vegas. And, Coach, I wanted to talk to you about the trip out to Las Vegas. You got two Big Ten teams in Washington. It sounds crazy to say Washington, but Washington and Illinois on Friday and Sunday, and then a matchup with those Texas Tech Red Raiders on Saturday night. Give us a little piece of what you've seen from the scouting reports on each of these squads.
Yeah, I haven't dove into it too much since we had a game Tuesday night, practice yesterday, but I'll be doing that on the plane and tomorrow. But I know Washington's got a really good Friday night starter. He lost to Stanford, I think 2-0 last weekend. Really good right-handed pitcher. So every good team in a Power 5 conference is at least going to roll out one, you know, elite arm, and he'll be doing that. And then Saturday, I know Tech's hadn't gotten off the start they want, but they played a great schedule. They opened at North Carolina and then played Irvine at home, and I don't think they've had a game this week, so they've had a chance to kind of catch their breath and get going. Coach Tadlock's one of the best in our sport historically, and I know he'll have the Red Raiders ready to go, and then shoot the best team there may be Illinois. I mean, they played great against Texas State. I think they were a high seed in the regional last year, if I remember. Coach Hartley's done an awesome job, and I think we're going to face three right-handed starters on the weekend. So it'll be a good test for us. We'll have the time changes and different things going on, and some long travel days here today. But all good preparation for the season.
Coach Schlossnagle, is it better to face the better teams early, or would you rather have a couple of gimmies, if you can ever call it that, on your schedule early?
I think you need I don't know about gimmies, but I think you need a mixture of both. I think there's time to challenge your team, and there's also a time to, you know, I mean, every game's a challenge, and we saw last week a couple swings of the bat, and you know we could have lost the series to Dartmouth. But if once people go through the SEC, once the Texas fans see what, you know, 10 straight weekends of super regional baseball feels like and looks like, they'll kind of understand what we may do with the schedule in the future. I can tell you this: the University of Texas does not need to be playing 2 of their 4 non-conference weekends on the road. That's not happening. It may have to happen next year, but it's not happening moving forward. We need to be in Dish Falk, playing in front of our fans, getting our team ready for SEC play. So probably 2 years from now is when you'll start to see 3 out of our 4 weekends be at home.
And I know a lot of the folks here will be excited about it. I'm going to let you go with this. Is your rotation this weekend going to be the same as it was the first 2 weekends?
Yeah, we're going to leave it the same, I believe. Spencer, Harrison, and Bing for now, and then we'll see how these other guys evolve. We saw some really good things the other day out of Flores. Saw some really good things out of Max Grubb.
Yep.
So there's some options there, and we can piggyback some guys and kind of work our way through the games.
If you make it to the roulette table, always bet on black, my man. Always bet on black.
Yeah, that's not my style, but if I happen to pass by, I'll take that.
I appreciate it. As always, Coach, we thank you for your time. I know you guys are headed to the airport. Safe travels, and go out there and get them dubs, man.
Good luck, Coach.
All right, you guys have a great weekend. Hook 'em.
All right, appreciate it. There he is, Coach Jim Schlossnagle, as his team is headed to Las Vegas, where he was the coach for UNLV, Mike Harge. Don't be afraid to remember that. It's all good, though. That's my guy. We'll talk about it, continue the conversations. The NFL giving out grades for ownership, and Tom Brady and Matthew Stafford were doing what? Let's talk about it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The Craig Way Show, weekdays at 2.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Looking at some congestion on I-35 going northbound, about a 20 to 25 minute out of your drive, starting from the 45 Southeast toll over to William Cannon Drive. An accident is still being cleaned up on Presidential Boulevard at Highway 71, and there's a new accident to watch out for on Pierce Lane at Highway 130. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Abacus Plumbing, Air Conditioning, and Electrical.
628.
No power? No problem. With a whole home backup generator from Abacus. Get a Generac generator with 0 down financing, a 10-year warranty, installed by licensed plumbers and electricians. Abacus, you can count on us.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. How can I help you?
My schedule is crazy. I just want some me time.
We could all use a sanctuary from stress. Why not turn your bedroom into the place to decompress with our selection of comfortable beds, pillows, decor, mood lighting, and so much more? Every time you step in there, it's nothing but me time. I mean, you time.
Sounds like a dream.
Here to make your me time dreams come true. Visit us in-store or at IKEA-USA.com/sleep to create a comfy, blissful bedroom today.
Quickly move. We don't have much time. This Liberty ad is already almost over. We only have a few precious seconds to remind people to customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual.
Okay. Well, I guess we had more time than I thought.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
With 12 grams of protein per serving, Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal is there for active mornings, relaxing ones, and all the moments in between. It microwaves in 60 seconds, helping fuel your morning with ease. With 4 delicious flavors to choose from, there's a reason it's the GOAT. That's greatest oatmeal of all time. Try a delicious bowl of Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal today. Quaker, bring out the good.
Tickets are on sale now, y'all, for our 2025 iHeart Country Festival, presented by Capital One, happening Saturday, May 3rd at the Moody Center in Austin, Texas. Don't miss your chance to see country music's biggest superstars. Tickets are on sale now. Ticketmaster.com.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Earl Campbell here for my good friends at Austin Shoe Hospital. Austin Shoe Hospital has been repairing my favorite boots and shoes for over 30 years. They are the best Western boot repair company in Texas and can repair any boot brand or style. Visit the master cobblers at Austin Shoe Hospital and they will bring all your shoes, boots, and bags back to life. If you're worried, they can repair it. Oh, yes, and hook 'em horns.
Visit AustinShoeHospital.com.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war in term life. Industry rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month, level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110 level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call for a free quote today. 800-200-2250. That's 800-200-2250. Don't wait. Call 800-200-2250. 800-200-2250. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
The Round Rock Express play here. 1300 The Zone.
The NFL Combine starts today, but the NFL offseason never slows down because there's always something that is going on when you think about the NFL, the expectation, and what team is you're going to be part of. So, Mark, there's a story that came out, two of them, right? There's a report card on the the organizations and what their grades are as far as the NFL Players Association gave out report cards on who had the best organization, who had the worst organization. Did they get an A, B, C, D, or E? All of those things are interesting when you sit back and think of it. As far as ownership, the Miami Dolphins, the Atlanta Falcons, the Minnesota Vikings, the Denver Broncos, and the LA Chargers all got A's as the top owners. The Pittsburgh Steelers, the New England Patriots, the Arizona Cardinals, and the Carolina Panthers all got D minuses. Woody Johnson and the New York Jets got an F. That's right, they got an F. Ask me if you're shocked by that.
No, I am not.
I didn't think so. But you start to look around and look at how these reports come about and the surveys that are there. And one particular that I wanted to point out to you, Mark, is the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys got their grades, and as the grades were given out, you look at the Cowboys and you say, what was their grade? Treatment of families? They've got an A. Food and dining? They got a B+. Nutritionist and dietitian? B+. Locker room was an A. The training room was a C. So was the training staff. Weight room was A-. People can walk by and watch you working out. That was always good for folks. The strength coaches got a B. The team travel was a B-. Head coach Mike McCarthy, A. Ownership. This is your favorite, Mark Henry, a B.
Those last two, what? Mike McCarthy got an A, a guy that had time management issues.
A.
You got an ownership group, got a B.
For
B. What?
For what?
What
it's
did they
definitely
get?
Not for great deals.
Well, for lack of making deals. That's what they got a B for, because they didn't make any. They had guys that came back from injury that didn't perform well and went back on the injury list. So I can see why the medical got a C. Right. They probably should have got a D. because they had so many people injured. The Tank was injured. DeMarcus Lawrence was injured all season.
Yep.
Like they had defensive linemen that went in and out of the lineup. You lost our top linebacker, Agent Zero.
Yep.
You lost your cornerback. You started the season with your number one cornerback, Bland. He missed what, 7 games?
Almost the whole season, really.
He missed altogether. He missed like 12 games.
Yep.
So like a lot of that is coaching too,
right?
And I put it on the owners. I would give Dallas no more than a D in ownership. I mean, no more than. They're right there with an F. Jerry Jones started off the season by saying, we're all in. All in for what? Losing? You don't sign nobody of value. You had 2 running backs born and raised in Texas, Adam Jones and Derrick Henry. Did you sign them?
Nope.
No. They ended up at other teams making Pro Bowls. I'm just at a loss.
It sounds like you're a little fired up.
I'm not fussing at you. I am not fussing at you.
I just wanted to make that be known.
You're my people. But you telling me, Arch.
I'm telling you, and this is by the NFLPA. These are the Player Association thoughts and salutations for everything that's going on in the NFL. When you start to think about this and the movements that are being made and the conversations that are being had, I look at this situation with Matthew Stafford. It's always interesting to me when Matthew Stafford is involved with a conversation during the time that he's with another team. As you know, Matthew Stafford had a great end of the season. He played great all year long, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
Rams have given Stafford, his agent, permission to talk with other teams. Well, one of those other teams just happened to be the Las Vegas Raiders.
Ooh, ironic.
Just happened to be owned, minority ownership, with one Tom Brady. Well, the story comes out that Matthew Stafford and Tom Brady just happened to be on vacation in a same spot in Montana. Now, you know as well as I do, if you remember this correctly, my friend, Matthew Stafford just happened to run into Sean McVay in 2021 while they were on vacation. And then all of a sudden, they get together, have some conversation, and my, oh my, there was a trade that was done where Matthew Stafford leaves Detroit and goes to LA. Mark, I don't know what tampering is anymore, but this sure seems like something that is shady just because of all the places to hang out. Y'all just happen to run into each other in Montana.
Hey, they just happen to run into each other skiing with my air quotes. But Harsh, that's great. But it'll never ever top meeting in a graveyard. It'll never
Come on, man.
It'll never top meeting in a graveyard. I'm just saying. For those that know, you know. Harsh, you know that they planned it.
Yep.
You know, that's tampering at the highest level. Nobody's gonna say anything about it because you can't prove anything. They just happen to run in each other. Now, if it turns out that there is a trade with the Raiders and Los Angeles, then we know that it was tampering. The league may block it. That's the only thing. Remember when the Lakers tried to get Chris Paul?
Yep.
I know I keep bringing that up.
You can't. That's your favorite. That's your
my
favorite. Yep.
They blocked it because they considered it tampering. That it was a coercion of LeBron James wanting to play with all his friends.
Yeah.
So they blocked it. I think now this is the same thing. And if the league allows it, then we'll know Tom Brady got more stroke than any player in the history of players, because this is blatant.
Yes. And the fact that he's still doing TV as well. So let's not forget about that. Tom Brady's doing TV also while he is a minority owner of an NFL football team. Now, we've been talking about this story real quick, and it is interesting because there seemed to be a little dust up at the combine. And I'm going to quote this. In a situation between Ian Rappaport and Jordan Schultz, it got heated at an Indianapolis Starbucks at the combine as they went back and forth regarding said Matthew Stafford, Tom Brady report. Via Pro Football Talk, we're told that Rappaport was talking to an agent. Schultz approached Rappaport and said, "We need to talk." Rappaport said, "No, we don't need to talk." Schultz then made the accusation about Rappaport, and they were face to face. Quote, "If you have anything to say to me, say it to my blanking face. If this continues, we're going to have a blanking problem." Ian then told Schultz to step back. And quote, "If this happens again, we're going to have a blanking problem." Rappaport then called NFL security, who is currently investigating the matter. Now, did he have a venti and a double latte, or was he out there trying to pick up some breakfast? Either way, it is interesting to see that these reporters take that job that seriously, bro.
Hey, listen, they took it serious. I know what happened. They have an issue, and they're in the same hotel, and they both end up at the same Starbucks. And now it's like, oh, talk that talk with your chest in person.
No doubt.
That's what happened.
Coming up next, we're going to hear from the world's strongest man as he brings you his world's strongest take. Coming up next here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300. That's all.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
A couple new issues out there. The first one's on the service road of I-35 southbound just before Wells Branch Parkway. A crash has been reported here. There's also reports of a new accident on the Mopac service road going southbound at Bee Cave Road. We're seeing some stop-and-go speeds on Mopac southbound between Palmer over to 2222, causing a 30-minute delay. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at Hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Do you ever find yourself scrolling through social media only to find yourself bombarded by bad news, worse comments, hot takes, picture-perfect families, and yet another humbling professional update? It's hard not to get wrapped up in how everyone else is doing, but imagine how you feel if you spent just 45 minutes focused on how you're doing. Cameron Parker here, and let me tell you about Cerebral. At Cerebral, we make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medication personalized to you. And the best part? Cerebral offers in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost. In fact, 72% of people say they felt better in just 12 weeks. Cerebral makes mental health care easy, accessible, and more affordable, and connects you with expert clinicians. Cerebral is also proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs. So take the first step today. Visit Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral. Make time for mind time.
Insurance sold by Smart Money Insurance Services, Inc., underwritten by various insurers. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
Hey, John, Mom told me you had a flood in your apartment?
Yeah, tons of my stuff is ruined.
You had renter's insurance, right?
No.
Just get the Smart Money app and get up to $40,000 of personal property coverage with policies starting at just $15 a month.
I could have saved so much money if I'd had coverage from Smart Money Insurance. I'm downloading the app now.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
These times of massive inflation have people just like you strapped.
As far as my debt, I was drowning in debt. My balances were never going down. I was making payments every month. It was just draining every resource I had.
The Debt Management Group can help. In the first free call, they will explain all the relief programs you may qualify for to get you out of debt fast.
They saved me thousands of dollars, especially in interest. I would have never paid off this debt without their help.
I felt like it was a burden lifted off my shoulders. It felt amazing, and I felt like I could actually see a future for me and my kids.
The sooner you call, the faster you can get the relief you deserve. It's free information on all the debt relief programs you qualify for, plus guaranteed confidentiality. Call 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470. Call now to find out about the best debt forgiveness, consolidation, modification, and settlement programs available. 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin area weather. Cloudy skies for your Thursday. A high in the upper 60s. Cloudy tonight. A low near 46. Friday, mostly sunny. A high in the upper 70s.
This report is sponsored by True Green.
We're back in the miller's yard, who now use True Green. Their lawn started looking like a golf course, and PGA Tour golfers made it their favorite stop.
Get a PGA Tour quality lawn for as little as $1 a day at TrueGreen.com. Exclusions apply. See TrueGreen.com for details.
Why did the godfather of AI warn that the very thing he helped create now has a 10 to 20% chance of leading to human extinction in the next 3 decades? And what did he learn from losing his wife to cancer about how to approach the future of AI? I'm Oz Voloshin, host of Tech Stuff, and I'm so excited to share this memorable and intimate conversation with Nobel laureate Geoffrey Hinton. Listen to Tech Stuff on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Tech Stuff to start listening.
This is your home for the Round Rock Express, 1300 The Zone.
You hear the beat drop, it means one thing. WWE Hall of Famer and the world's strongest man, the Mark Henry, brings you his world's strongest take right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. Take it away, big fella.
Harge.
What's up, man?
You know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for the world's strongest take by the world's strongest man. Khalil, back then they didn't know me. Now I'm hot. They all on me. Guys, reports are saying, the streets are talking is what we call it. This may be the best defensive draft in the last 4 to 5 years. There are 15 defensive tackles they said could be drafted. 15 in the first 2 rounds. 15? That is crazy. Or the first 2 days, which basically goes through the 4th round. Then you have on the defensive ends that are the edge players from Abdul Carter all the way down to Prince Amosian from Mississippi State. They have 10 edge rushers. And it narrows down. There's some Longhorns in here too, in that defensive tackle group. Both Alfred Collins and Vernon has already been brought in or in the top 10 of the top 15 players. And then you get to those edge players. Guys, Abdul Carter is a monster. Hard, you made the statement about the stress fracture. And in fact, that's not going to stop him from being drafted number one on the defensive side when it comes to is him or Travis Hunter. You pick your poison. And I'm willing to wait through what the injury that he has, that stress fracture, even it's not even a stress fracture yet. I will wait till the preseason is over with to get him going. All he needs to do is the walkthroughs. Let's get him through practices, walkthroughs, and he's such an unbelievable talent that he'll be valuable. Then you get to the cornerbacks. I mentioned the fact that Travis Hunter is going to be a top 5 pick. Will Johnson will be a top 10 pick. And they have 5 more corners, including Jahdae Barron and Benjamin Morrison, that said will be in the first 2 rounds. The last class, the safeties, guys, there's only 3. 3 in the top ranking. So whenever there's a run with safeties, you can see Malachi Starks, Nick Aworiati, and Kevin Wilson being picked in those Hards. You do the math. In the first 4 rounds, there's going to be 47 defensive players picked. It's never happened before in the history of the draft. Why is this such an unbelievable defensive class? And who do you think out of Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter is going to go first? I say it'll be Travis Hunter. What say you?
Travis Hunter will not go first. I just see way too many people trying to figure out what they're going to use him as. I know people want to continue to think that he is going to be a guy that can be used on both sides. I just don't see that happening. I also, you talked about the draft and how many possible defensive players that could go. Defense wins championship, obviously, but I still believe there's going to be a lot of offensive players that get taken and have an opportunity to do some special things. When you look at Abdul Carter, I'm worried about that foot because he's a big fella and you got a stress fracture, bro. And you know this. You are a big guy that can move around, and if your feet aren't good, it's going to be a problem. And that is the part that really scares me as far as taking a guy like that, because not only is he somebody that's going to be good, but you're also going to have to deal with that the entire time. There were some doctors that got on here and kind of commented on those types of injuries, but some people heal differently than others. So I'm not going to put that on him. Talent-wise, we saw what he's capable of doing. He played with one arm, basically, in the semifinal game to be out there. And
the foot didn't bother him too much then.
Right. But when you know as well, prodding and proking, we talked to Michael Griffin about that earlier in the week. It's you at the meat market, bro. You trying to figure out what's going on. And once they start finding out those medicals, it kind of changes. But there's also, this is the time of year where the smoke screens happen too.
I was just about to say, I'll pay a doctor to say, hey, be Nick Natty with this guy so he can drop 2 places so I can get him.
And you know where that'll be? It'll be the Philadelphia Eagles getting him as well on that defense.
Don't say it. Don't take it out. Take it back.
I'll take it back. But you start to look at this draft and the opportunities are going to be there for a lot of folks. Texas, as we talked about before, has 14 players that have been invited to the draft. To the combine. That's the second most by anybody and the most in Texas football history, 25 in the last 2 seasons. I'm looking at Alfred Collins and Vernon Broughton. Those guys are going to get an opportunity. I saw that Vernon was on Cowboys watch list. Alfred as somebody that they be looking at. You were trying to get rid of Osa, and Osa may be signing a big contract for the Dallas Cowboys, the defensive end that you were talking about, that you were trying to get out of there. They're talking about signing him today to a $21 million contract. If you sign anybody before you sign Micah Parsons, we got problems.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, also Baron Sorrell is one of those 15 edge rushers that are on the board.
Yeah. So we'll see. But I'm with you, but I don't see Travis Hunter, and I'm looking at a ton of mock drafts. I just don't see a lot of people looking at him as the number one pick overall. He may go into this combine and wow some folks, and this might too be a smokescreen. Somebody might find him, but the conversation around him has been, what position are we going to draft him at? Because whatever position he gets drafted at, that is going to be the position that they're going to work him the most, and they want him to focus on that.
They also had 5 linebackers. Danny Stutzman at Oklahoma was the 5th one. And the number 1 guy, of course, is Jaleel Campbell at Alabama. They said they gave both of those guys a top 5 rush grade. So, like, when you come to guys that rush the passer from the linebacker position, you got 2 in that spot. It's incredibly defensive heavy draft.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see, and I'm excited about it. The combine starts today, 2:00. You can watch it and check it all out. Another great take. Come back, we'll close out the show and send you to Dan Patrick as we preview Texas versus Mississippi State, the number 1 team in the country, Texas Longhorns, right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300.
Craig Way Show with Craig Way.
Tex Schramm, you'd hear him on with Brad Sham when we had the show and I was the producer for it, called Ask Tex Schramm. This was like 1987. The football Cardinals were moving to Arizona. Brad Sham is doing the show. And so he asked him, he said, well, does that mean also now there'll be a change that the Atlanta Falcons would move from the NFC West to the NFC East? The Texas response was, well, once you're on an airplane, what difference does it make?
Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
A couple new issues out there. The first one's on the service road of I-35 southbound just before Wells Branch Parkway. A crash has been reported here. There's also reports of a new accident on the Mopac service road going southbound at Bee Cave Road. We're seeing some stop-and-go speeds on Mopac southbound between Palmer over to 2222, causing a 30-minute delay. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay. We all got a thing. Yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
With 12 grams of protein per serving, Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal is there for active mornings, relaxing ones, and all the moments in between. It microwaves in 60 seconds, helping fuel your morning with ease. With 4 delicious flavors to choose from, there's a reason it's the GOAT. That's greatest oatmeal of all time. Try a delicious bowl of Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal today. Quaker, bring out the good.
My name is Kyle Tequila, host of the shocking new true crime podcast, Crook County.
I got recruited into the mob when I was 17 years old.
People are dying. Is he doing this every night?
Kenny was a Chicago firefighter who lived a secret double life as a mafia hitman.
I had a wife and I had 2 children. Nobody knew anything. He was a crazy man.
He was my father, and I had no idea about any of this until now. Listen to Crook County on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Crook County to start listening.
Hey, it's big. Rob Schmidt recently beat CNN in key ratings as millions are tuning into Newsmax. Every night, Rob Schmidt is on Newsmax revealing the truth about Elon Musk's Doge. Tune in tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern and find out why Rob is the hottest person in cable news. Even President Trump is watching, and he says Newsmax is terrific. Reuters Institute reports that Newsmax is now one of the top news brands in America. Find out why. Just check out Newsmax on your cable system. Get Rob Schmidt with Greta Van Susteren, Rob Finnerty, and much more. Download the free Newsmax app on your smartphone or home TV to start watching. It takes just seconds. With Newsmax Plus, You can watch our great shows anytime. Go to newsmaxplus.com and start your free trial. That's newsmaxplus.com. Make the switch to Newsmax today.
And Doug. Quickly, Moo. We don't have much time. This Liberty ad is already almost over. We only have a few precious seconds to remind people to customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Okay. Well, I guess we had more time than I thought.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
The new iHeart app.
What do I like about it? Real easy to use. I like that.
Love my presets.
If you're not using it, you're missing out.
Go get it.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
Hi, this is Tom McKay, owner of Audiovisual Consultations. We've been providing custom electronic systems for Central Texas for more than 36 years. And
Old man, I think they all know who you are and what your company does. This is Camilla McKay. The old man believes in big fun and big ideas. He can make dreams come true, so why not dream big? I've been up in Boston, but I know the old man and all his friends and fellow radio heads have been spreading the holiday spirit here in Texas. Why should we stop there? Keep spreading the good feelings all over. Audiovisual Consultations carries all major brands of televisions and stereo equipment at prices you can't find in stores. And you don't have to leave your house. Just like Santa, they deliver the gifts to you.
yeah, I like that, kid. Throw a party, hang out with your friends, catch a concert.
That's all fun and good, but can we get back to the business? You can give us a call at 512-255-8678 or visit our website at avconsultations.com for some cool electronics.
Oh, now you're forgetting something.
And as always, hug your kids. We only pretend to be annoyed. Watch some games with your friends and make love to whoever the hell you want.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Texas softball is heating up. Catch every pitch.
Field back goes Dill with a warning track to the wall. It's gone.
As the Horns take on the SEC, search Retro Austin on the free iHeartRadio app and listen to Texas softball all season long.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone. Another great day here on the morning kickoff. I want to thank Eric Henry of Horns 24/7. And I also want to thank Coach Jim Schlossnagle as they make their trip to Las Vegas. That will be posted immediately after the show. And if you missed any of our interviews, all you have to do is get over to that new and improved iHeartRadio app. Go look over for the podcast of the morning kickoff. And obviously, that will be an opportunity for you to hear anything that you missed throughout the week. Also, next Friday, not tomorrow, but the following Friday, Mark Henry and myself will be at the Rodeo Cook-Off brought to you by Pit Stops Barbecue Buyers Group. We will be doing the show live on the Rodeo Fairgrounds, supporting FFA and 4-H programs. They've donated over $1.5 million to these youth programs. They do a great thing. They do a bunch of fundraisers throughout the year, and we are pleased to be a part of that, to be able to go out and hang out. They've been doing it for 17 years. Think about that. And the Rodeo Barbecue Cook-Off is one of the best things that is out there. So make sure you make your plans to come out there early in the morning with us. And they said they will have some food being cooked so y'all can get a bite to eat. What you think about that, Mark? I know you excited.
Listen, I'm so excited. I will not eat the day before because I know that I'm going to want to try everything.
Yep.
So it's going to be a lot of water the day before, Harge. I suggest everybody come out, put a Ziploc bag in your pocket like I do. So it's something really good, Harge. I can get a little snack for later.
Yeah, I got you.
Also, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, speaking of a snack for later, the Texas women are on the road, and they're going to Stark Vegas. Stark Vegas, the number one team in the country. The women's basketball team will travel to Starkville, Mississippi, Vic Schaefer's former home. He's got a farm out there, bro. He's got some land out there. Vic Schaefer gets to go back to Starkville, Mississippi.
Play against his daughter too.
No, his daughter's on the coaching staff. That's where she was at. She went to school there, and that's where she learned the tricks of the trade and the craft.
She'll still be coaching against her dad.
Yep. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Vic Schaefer, at his time at Mississippi State, was 221-62. He was 89-39 in conference. He had made it to the Sweet 16. He had been in the Elite 8. He's done some unbelievable things at his time at Mississippi State. So he knows what it's all about when you get a chance to go back home. So I'm hopeful that the return to Starkville is an outstanding one for the Texas Longhorns. In 2017 and 2018, he was 37-2 and 16-0 in the SEC conference with his time there. The following year, he was 33-3 and 15-1 in conference play. The dude knows how to coach, to say the least.
Well, that's why he's at Texas. And,
no doubt.
And, we always talk about the effect of CDC and like the hiring process at the University of Texas. They want excellence.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he's doing. They talked about the coaches' retreats, and it's interesting when you think about that because all these coaches, they all think that they're very good at their jobs, but they're also humbled enough to understand that we need to take a little bit from this coach. We take a little bit from that coach. And when you are very good at what you do, it's important to understand that humility is just as good as being the best in the room. You have to be able to understand that I don't know everything about coaching. There may be some intricacies that I could use that can make me a lot better at what I do as well.
Yeah, we always want to be able to, listen to philosophy because, you always say, Mark, you always want to trade and get rid of somebody, or you want to start with violence, wake up, choose violence.
Right.
There's a lot of different philosophies, and sometimes you can learn from other coaches, even if it's a different sport. The philosophy of how you reach people is the biggest thing in sports as a coach, and they share that knowledge.
Yeah. And it's so much fun too, man, when all those things happen. So I continue to look at it. I know that this is a big game for him emotionally, but most important, his team has to continue to get dubs in these particular moments. So it's an important time for them as their season is getting ready. Also, don't forget about this. Coach Vic Schaefer has told everybody 10,000 fans show up for the game on Sunday. He will donate $10,000 to the Longhorn Neighborhood Fund.
Wow.
Remember that.
What
so
an
if you
awesome
show up
coach.
on Sunday, make sure that there's 10,000 people in the stands. Coach Vic said that he is going to donate $10,000 to the Longhorn the Longhorn Neighborhood Foundation.
Somebody show up for me because I'm out of town. I'm in Columbus, Ohio for the Arnold Classic. So I'm going to miss
tell people about that. Tell people about the Arnold Classic.
The Arnold Classic is the largest physical culture like symposiums, bodybuilding, strongman show in the world. It's got the most money involved in it. I was fortunate enough to win it in 2002. Won $100,000 in prizes, and that was one of the launches for me as a strongman. But I'm here judging the strongman and emceeing the event, so it's gonna be fun, man. I'm having a great time.
Man, I'm excited for you, and I can't wait to hear what some of the things you get a chance to do today. Obviously, we'll be back tomorrow. I too will be on the road. I'm calling baseball this weekend, and I'm not going to be in Vegas. That kind of sucks. I got sent to Frisco, Texas, which is cool. I like being in Frisco, but I get to call LSU, Nebraska, Sam Houston State, and one other team. I forgot the other team. My brain.
Well, we're also hard.
Yeah.
we'll also see if Mitchell Hooper will repeat as the world's strongest man, who will also be on our show coming up real soon. So we'll keep that information to y'all. We're going to have the world's strongest men on the morning kickoff in Austin, Texas, coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Cannot wait. Mark, be careful. Have a good time. Khalil, always holding it down. And you, the people, thank you so much for tuning in to the morning kickoff. And just remember this, don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. Peace.